Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In this video, if you haven't heard the news already, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the Japanese pitcher from Japan, has just signed the contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers. It was a 12-year, $375 million contract, something big, like equivalent to like what Shohei Ohtani got. And after that took place, there was a big question going around the MLB of, should these players be allowed to just be given this big-time money? And what I mean by that is, as you saw, the Dodgers, they're going out here and they're signing these big-time free agents like Shohei Ohtani, Tyler Glasnow, the pitcher from the Rays, he just got a big-time contract, 5 years, like $130 million contract. Shohei Ohtani, like I referenced earlier in the past, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and the list goes on. And people around the MLB have just said, is this becoming unfair? Because when Shohei Ohtani was a free agent, people thought maybe the teams like the Cubs or the Blue Jays, maybe they had a chance at him. Little did we know, he was already had his mindset on the Los Angeles area. He wanted to stay in LA, and he was going to the Dodgers. And you look around the league, and you see all these big-time free agents. Where do they always go when they're a free agent? New York, Yankees, Mets, Dodgers. They go to places like San Francisco. They go to these big time money spots where they're going to be given buku bucks. And I guess the question is this fair? So I guess what I'm going to kind of do is I'm going to go through and talk about the Los Angeles issue, talk about, is this fair for the Dodgers to be doing this? We're going to talk about some of the things with the payroll and why the Dodgers are basically, I guess you could say, abusing it, and how teams can fix this, or how the MLB could fix this using a little bit of a situation that the NFL and the NBA uses. So without further ado, I'm going to stop rambling, and hopefully you guys do go on to enjoy. If you do enjoy today's video, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. And without further ado, let's get into it. So like I said, we look at Los Angeles' free agent signings that they made in the past few months and even years. Going back in the past, Mookie Betts, big time, I think it was like 10-year, $300-something million contract. Freddie Freeman, I think it was like a 9-year, $300-something million contract. Now we got Shohei Ohtani, 10 years, $700 million. Tyler Glasnow, 5 years, $137 million. And now we have Yamamoto, I think is how you pronounce his name. He just now signed the big 12-year, $375 million contract. And it's just beginning to kind of show players are not going to, I like this area, I like this town, I like this place, I'm going to go there. It's more or less of blank check, sign me a bunch of zeros on the end of that contract or end of that check, and I'm coming to you. I have this website here, it's SpotTrack.com. I'll put the link down in the description below if you want to check it out. But you can see right here all the players that the Los Angeles Dodgers have signed to their team, and some of the big time money they're spending. Like I said, Mookie Betts around $30 million, Freddie Freeman the $27 million, Tyler Glasnow about $17 million, plus he also has his base salary, puts it up to about like $30-something million. You have a lot of other players here like Chris Taylor, he's still being paid. And then we kind of scroll down here. Shohei Ohtani is getting $2 million this year, but he's really going to be getting $70 million. And then Yoshinobu Yamamoto, his contract hasn't been like officially put into the system, but he will be in there eventually. And you can see right there, it's going to be about $27 million a year. Now, why do I feel like the Dodgers are screwing the MLB, and a lot of these big market teams are screwing the MLB? Look up there at the top of the screen. Right here, projected total tax allocations. If you don't know what that means, it basically means the total money the Dodgers are going to be spending across their entire team. $277 million. You heard me correct. $277 million. And that includes like the benefits, the tax threshold, AAV tax payroll, the estimation abbreviation, the arbitration payroll, everything. Just to put it in perspective, this right here, as you can see, is the payrolls, I believe, from last year or the year that we just had happen. Rangers, $197 million. As what did the Dodgers or Rangers just go after? Oh, that's right. They went after and won a World Series. So it kind of shows that if you're going to win a World Series and you're going to go make some noise, you got to put your money where your mouth is, and you got to spend big. We can see down here the Dodgers, they were up around $151 million, but now with all these big time contracts, they're really going to shoot that number up. Yankees are always up there. Braves have been spending some money lately since they won their World Series. They're always trying to stay on top, and as we've seen, 100 wins kind of shows that they're willing to spend the money. Dodgers, like I said, Cubs and Blue Jays, they have been up. They kind of got up here recently because, as we knew, they were in the running for the Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes. That's why we kind of thought maybe they could go sign him. That didn't happen. But then we scroll down here and look at the bottom tier, the bottom feeders. Baltimore Orioles, Oakland Athletics, Tampa Bay Rays, Pittsburgh Pirates, Cleveland Guardians, Miami Marlins, Milwaukee Brewers, and the list goes on and on. Like, imagine you're a free agent and you just seen a big time talent just get paid $50, $60, $70 million a year, and you're thinking, man, I want that money. You're going to look around the teams and you're going to say, okay, what teams can afford me? Well, clearly, you've already eliminated basically 1/6, I guess, of the league from Baltimore, Oakland, Tampa, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Miami. Those teams, and Milwaukee, you can throw them in there too, are just like gone from your radar. And it's like, it's nothing against like, oh man, maybe I just don't like the coach, maybe I don't like the area, maybe they're a place that I grew up a rival of or something like that. It's the fact of they can't afford me. Now I know people are going to be talking about, oh well, the owners, they're all like billionaires, can't they afford to pay the money for these players to be good? Here's the problem that I've heard rumors of. Like I said, it's rumors. I don't know if it's entirely accurately true. Owners have this philosophy of, if they're going to give the money, they want to see results like that. Meaning if the Oakland A's or the Baltimore Orioles decided, I'm going to go spend money right here, right now, they want to see results right now. Like if you look at the Guardians, 2 years ago, our payroll was like 50 to 55 million. This past year, 2 years ago, we went to the playoffs. We won the first round, the wild card round. We took the Yankees 5 games. What happened? Our owner came to us and said, I'm going to give you a pay raise. I'm going to give you some money to go sign some free agents. We did that. We went bust on Josh Bell and a couple other different players. We ended up trading some players away at the trade deadline, and our team just did not make the playoffs. And we ended up just screwing around and wasting like a $40 million pay raise. And now I think the owners are going to be bringing the money back down, because if you don't show results with that money, the money's going to go back down. Now, if we showed results, went to the playoffs, won another playoff series, maybe got to the ALCS, maybe the money keeps going up. But as we saw, you don't do anything, the money comes back down. Now, I have a philosophy of how this can kind of be fixed, but like I said, it's going to be tainted away very quickly by the owners. I think the MLB should go to a more of a ecosystem, I guess you could say, of how the NFL works and kind of the NBA has been kind of moving into in the past decade. With the NBA, they've taken the philosophy of how the NFL works with the salary cap. Basically, every single team makes their money throughout the year, and then they just take all the money from the league, they push it all together, they divide it between 32 teams, and that's your salary cap. The NBA has kind of a similar situation with it. It's just they have a thing called the luxury tax, which they can spend a little bit more money on players, or it's kind of like with the MLB or with the NFL, of where you can push money down the salary cap rather than having to front load your contract. I would say it's like this. The NFL is the big time leader of the salary cap. The MLB has no salary cap, and the NBA kind of has a salary cap, but with that luxury tax, it kind of pushes them a little bit in the way of how MLB does, where if you have the money, the owners, you can spend it. And for the MLB fans that are probably saying, that's stupid, why would they do that? Think of it this way. They can still keep their system with no salary cap, kind of like what the NBA has. If they wanted to go to the NBA system, I would be okay with that. Make a salary cap, but then make it to where, because then teams can spend a lot of money, but then if they want to, owners can dabble a little bit more money into the pot, they can with that luxury tax. They can tax on some money, they can spend a little bit more freely if they want to, but they don't have to. So the positives and negatives would be this. In a positive note, it would be the bad teams, or like the teams that have less money, they can then go and they can bring more money or give more money to free agents. The negatives would be those rich owners already spending a lot of money. You're going to be helping them out by not having to help them make them spend as much money, and they can use that money for the luxury tax. Like I said, do I think the MLB is going to change anything? No, I feel like they're just so stuck in their ways of where the owners, they would have to obviously vote on a change, and they wouldn't do that. They would need 66% to vote for a change, and I don't think they would do it. But like I said, I feel like the MLB is just corrupt in the way of how they're just letting their owners run the league into a way of where the only teams that are ever going to win a World Series are going to be the teams that have a 100 next to the millions on their payroll. Like, I just feel like when it comes to these teams that are going to try and build a roster, they might make to the playoffs, they might make to the divisional round, but once you get there, then you're going to start running into the big time talent of where it's going to be guys where you look down the line and every single player is going to be getting paid 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, 50 million, 60 million. Every single player is going to be a gazillionaire, and you're going to be the guy over here counting your pennies on the side of the road. But other than that, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys did go on to enjoy today's video. As always with all the videos that I do post here, if you wanted to enjoy, make sure you go and drop a like. Be very much appreciative if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entire today's video, thank you very much. And maybe I missed a detail about the whole thing, or if you agree or disagree with the whole situation of if the MLB is kind of corrupt in this way of where they're letting the MLB run things, or letting the Dodgers kind of ruin things with their money spending, or just like big market teams spending all this type of money, and it's kind of just forcing these smaller market teams to just constantly suck. What's your opinion on the whole thing? If you have a different opinion than what I said, or if you agree with what I said, leave a comment down below. I'd be more than welcome to talk about it with you guys if you agree or disagree. If you're enjoying the content that I do post here and you want to go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so, and do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified the second I post. But without further ado, this has been Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.